Beloved soul, something beautiful has been following you. A gift, a secret, a divine promise hidden in plain sight. And right now, you have no idea what's been kept from you. But heaven does. And Archangel Michael is stepping forward to uncover what's been buried beneath layers of lies because you deserve the truth. You're not imagining it. That strange tug in your chest, that sudden feeling like you're meant for something greater. It wasn't a coincidence. That's your spirit remembering something you once owned, something that rightfully belongs to you. And beloved, it's not a dream. You own a house, a real home, but someone has been hiding it from you all this time. Michael is here. He's standing beside you right now with a scroll in his hand. A scroll sealed by light marked with your name. Heaven kept the records. And inside those heavenly pages, one line glows the brightest. A divine home was promised. But a woman tried to bury it under silence. My child, read every word carefully. You are not supposed to miss this. Your future has been delayed for too long. Sweetheart, someone you trusted, maybe even someone you loved, knew something that could have changed your entire life. But they chose silence. Why? Because the truth was powerful. Because it would make you unstoppable. Because it would set you free. And free people are not easy to control. That's why she kept it from you. This is not just a building with 4 walls. No, this is a sacred inheritance. A blessing from God passed through generations, and it was meant to come to you. But she covered the trail. She made it look like it was gone. She signed papers. She whispered lies. And now she's acting like it never existed. But heaven disagrees. And today you were led here to remember what she tried to erase. Love letter. Before we continue, this message was not meant for everyone. If your soul feels this, if your heart is pounding faster, that's a sign. Pause for a second. Subscribe now and say, I receive what is mine. Because Michael will reveal even more once you've shown that you're ready. This message is for you, not the ones who keep skipping divine moments. Now, close your eyes for a moment. Can you see a doorway, a dusty key hidden in a drawer, an address that feels oddly familiar, like you've been there in a dream? That's not just imagination. That's spiritual memory returning. That's your soul waking up because you've been connected to this property long before this life. And now the time has come to claim what's been yours from the beginning. This lady, she didn't just forget to tell you. She chose not to. She had the chance to bring the truth forward and she locked it away. But not even locked doors can block angel wings. Michael has been watching this unfold and he couldn't wait any longer. Today is the day the silence breaks. Something strange may happen around you in the next few hours. A name might be mentioned. A letter might arrive. A dream might shake you awake. Don't ignore it. Heaven is aligning signs. You're being prepared. And someone close to that woman, perhaps a friend, perhaps a relative, is about to slip up and reveal a small detail that leads you back to what was hidden. Stay alert. Your breakthrough will not scream. It will whisper. The records of this house were spiritual before they were legal. It was assigned to your soul's blueprint the moment you were born. But Michael says someone manipulated earthly documentation to make it look like it belonged to them. And that woman, she knows you're close to finding out. That's why lately things have been feeling unsettled. It's her energy reacting to your rising truth. God says, my child, if only you knew how long I've waited for this moment, for you to read these words. For you to finally hear what was covered in shadows. You were never forgotten. This home is not just a home. It's a resting place for your soul's next chapter. And she tried to keep you wandering so you'd never rest. And Michael, oh, Michael is fierce when it comes to your protection. He watched as the documents were shifted, as keys were exchanged behind closed doors. He kept a record even when man tried to erase it. And today, he says, no more secrets. The time of revealing has begun. Even if you don't have the address, even if you don't see the full picture yet, your spirit does. You might notice yourself being drawn to certain locations. You may pass a place and feel like crying without knowing why. That's your soul remembering. That's your future calling from the past. And Michael will guide you there one step at a time. But only if you stay open. Beloved, this isn't just about a home. This is about identity. About reclaiming what was always yours. A piece of you has been crying for stability, for belonging, for truth, and that home. It's more than land. It's proof that you were never lost, only delayed. And that delay ends now. And my child, when heaven begins restoring what was delayed, it also places a path before you so you can step into peace, stability, and clear direction with confidence. My child, I see the struggle you have been facing, the stress about finances, the silent worries that stay in your heart, and the moments where you feel uncertain about what comes next. You have been asking for peace, and that answer is already on its way. You are not meant to stay stuck in fear, you are meant to walk forward with purpose, with faith, and with clear steps every day. That is why a simple system has been placed in front of you, a 30-day faith and financial breakthrough system, a path where each day brings you a focused prayer, a small financial action, and clear direction to help you move ahead. No pressure, no confusion, just steady progress toward peace and stability. If something inside you feels ready, if you are ready to change your situation, take that first step today. This could be the moment your life begins to change. You will find the link in the description, and in the comments below. Because restoration is not only about reclaiming what was hidden. It is also about becoming ready to receive what has always belonged to you. Let's pause for a moment. Breathe. Can you feel that chill down your spine? That's not fear. That's recognition. Heaven is touching you and there is more to be said, more to be revealed, more waiting behind the next door. Michael leans closer now, his voice softer, more serious. She knows you're waking up, he says. And that terrifies her. Not because she hates you, but because the moment you remember, her web of control will crumble. That house. It's the last thing keeping her power intact. And once you find it, everything shifts. She can no longer pretend. She can no longer lie. And heaven will no longer stay silent. Your spirit's been trying to tell you through your dreams, through that strange pull towards certain people or streets or memories you can't quite explain. You felt this before, haven't you? That urge to walk somewhere you've never been. That intense déjà vu when passing a street corner. That wasn't nothing. That was spiritual GPS. That was Archangel Michael trying to get your attention, but you kept brushing it off like it was just coincidence. It wasn't. Do you remember the time someone in your family hesitated when you asked about a property or suddenly changed the subject when inheritance was brought up? That awkward silence. That nervous laugh. That too quick. No, there's nothing like that. Heaven saw it and now it's being replayed so you can remember because there was something and they hoped you'd never look deeper. But you just did. Michael says this isn't about revenge. It's about restoration. God doesn't want you bitter. He wants you blessed. He wants to restore what was stolen without staining your soul with hate. That's why you're reading this now. Not to go backward, but to step into the blessing that's been quietly waiting in the shadows of your past. And beloved, it's not just any house. It's a house with legacy. A house where miracles were once prayed for. A house where your name was whispered decades before you were born. A house that holds energy so sacred, even the angels tremble when they walk through it. That's why it's so important. That's why it was hidden. Because the woman who covered it feared what would happen if you discovered your full inheritance. But no fear can stand against heaven's timing. God says, "My child, it was never lost, only delayed." And right now, the spiritual locks are being broken. The seals are being lifted. The truths are being rewritten into light. But you must be willing to open your heart and follow the signs. They will not shout. They will whisper just like this message did. Someone close to that lady is starting to have a guilty conscience. Watch carefully. The universe is nudging them to talk. One slip, one sentence, one call. It'll sound casual. But it'll be the thread that unravels the whole truth. So don't miss it. Don't brush it off. And above all, don't second guess what your soul already knows. Michael is going to place a series of clues over the next 7 days. They may come in strange forms like overhearing a name you haven't heard in years or stumbling across an old photograph or receiving a dream that feels too vivid to ignore. This is not fantasy. This is how heaven speaks when the enemy tries to shut earthly mouths. When people fail to speak truth, God speaks through time, symbols, signs, and silence. That house might not be in your city. It might be somewhere you left long ago, but your energy never fully left it. Part of you is still there waiting to return and reclaim. That's why you've been feeling incomplete lately. That's why even with achievements and comfort, something inside you still whispers, there's something missing. That something is not a thing. It's a home. Your home. You might ask, why me? Why now? And the answer is simple. Because heaven's clock just struck your name. Because the delay has expired. And because Michael couldn't hold back anymore. He's been asking God for permission to intervene. And tonight, the permission was granted. You're going to start seeing patterns, numbers, names, places that repeat. That's Michael saying, keep walking. You're close. But let me be very clear. The woman who hid this will try one last time to confuse you. She may reach out soon. She may pretend to care. She may even offer you something fake to distract you. Do not be fooled. Her words may be warm, but they will come from fear, not love. God says you are not walking into battle. You are walking into inheritance. That means you don't need to fight her. You don't need to prove anything. You just need to trust what heaven is showing you now. You are walking toward what was always yours. No force can stop it now. Even the angels are singing softly tonight because something ancient is being returned to its rightful owner. You, a home once wrapped in prayers, forgotten by men, but remembered by heaven. And Michael is smiling now. Because you stayed long enough to hear this part. Most people would have skipped. Most people would have scrolled past, but not you. You stayed. And because you stayed, the next part of the revelation will now reach you. Are you ready to hear the real reason she kept it from you? She didn't hide the house from you just to be cruel. She hid it because of fear. Fear that if you had it, you become who you were always meant to be. You see, this wasn't about land. This wasn't about bricks and walls. It was about power, spiritual power. The kind that awakens when you walk on holy ground that belongs to your destiny. That house, your house, was infused with divine energy meant to unlock the next version of you. And she knew once you had it, you'd no longer need her or anyone. That's why she buried the truth. That's why she smiled while pretending nothing was wrong. Because deep down she knew once you stepped through that door, your soul would remember everything. And the control she held over your life would be gone forever. Her silence wasn't forgetfulness. It was strategy, but heaven's strategy is louder. Michael says she played her part. Yes, but now the curtain has fallen. No lie can stay hidden once the light enters. And today, light has come. You're not reading this by accident. You were led. Every force of light that loves you whispered your name until you finally heard it here. And now the truth is breathing through every sentence. That house is calling your name through the wind. It's the reason you've been waking up at strange hours lately. It's the reason your body feels restless even when you rest. It's the reason birds seem to land near you more often and numbers like 111, 333, 777 keep flashing at odd times. These aren't random. These are divine codes. And they all say the same thing. You're getting closer. Do you remember being younger and dreaming of a home that felt like peace? A place that smelled like rain and memories, though you'd never been there before. You weren't dreaming. You were remembering. Your soul has always known. But until today, the veil was still covering it. Now the veil is lifting. Michael just showed something astonishing. A vision, a faint outline of your feet standing in that house. And as your feet touched the floor, the walls began to glow. That's how sacred it is. That house wasn't just made of materials. It was soaked in prophecy. It was built to hold your next chapter. And the longer you stayed away, the dimmer your light became. But now the light is coming back. And so are you. God says you were never meant to live confused. That home was a sign of clarity, of divine alignment. She delayed it. Yes. But she could never deny it because what I wrote in heaven cannot be erased by human hands. This woman who hid it still doesn't understand that heaven doesn't lose records. She may have convinced the world, convinced the court, convinced the family, but she never convinced God. And now God is reminding the earth of the promise. You will have what is yours. And no, it will not come with struggle. It will come with grace because the fight was already won in the spiritual realm. Listen carefully. Within 3 days, something unusual will happen. Someone will mention a document, a storage place, or an old key. Don't ignore it. That will be your sign. Michael says, when it appears, say nothing to anyone. Just smile and write it down. You are not meant to reveal your next move. You are meant to act in silence and receive in glory. And beloved, do not worry about the legalities. Heaven is already working through people you haven't even met yet. A person in a position of influence is being nudged toward you. They will offer help at just the right moment. This person may be a lawyer, a spiritual elder, or even someone from the past you thought was gone. When they arrive, you will feel it in your spirit before they even speak. Accept it. That is Michael's way of clearing your path. She will be shocked. She will say, "How did you know?" She may try to twist your story or guilt you into letting it go, but let this be known. You owe no one an explanation for walking into your blessing. You are not stealing. You are reclaiming. You are not betraying. You are rising. And the truth doesn't need permission. God says everything she tried to cover will become clear without you lifting a single stone, because when I move I do not need approval. I only need your readiness, and you are ready now. So take this as your confirmation. That house is still yours even if someone else is living in it. Even if the papers say otherwise, even if it feels impossible, the impossible is where God shines the brightest. And right now, heaven is clearing the fog. You're going to feel more clarity than you've felt in years. Even tonight, something will shift. A dream, a phone call, a strange alignment. Watch closely. You are standing on holy ground emotionally, spiritually, and soon physically. Michael is now kneeling beside you. His sword touches the earth as he whispers, "We waited long enough." The light is no longer patient. And behind him, angels line up carrying scrolls, keys, and seals, ready to open the gates that were unfairly closed against you. You are no longer a seeker. You are the rightful owner, not just of a house, but of peace, power, and truth. And now, beloved, Michael opens the scroll. The scroll that holds the final instruction, not for your enemy, not for the woman who hid your truth, but for you. Because the property cannot return to you unless your heart is ready to receive it. This is not about paperwork. It's about permission. Divine permission. And God is whispering, say yes. You must say yes in your spirit before the earth obeys. That means you speak it aloud. Right now, not later. Not tomorrow. Right now. Say, I receive my inheritance. I claim my divine home. I say yes to what heaven wrote for me. And as you do, Michael will rise. And heaven will begin to move everything in your favor. You don't need to go searching. You need to go still. The moment you declared yes, something shifted in the spiritual realm. That hidden house just lit up on heaven's map. And angels are now moving through time, through people, through documents and doorways, working behind the scenes on your behalf. You will not have to chase it. You will be guided to it. And my child, when heaven begins guiding you toward what was always meant for you, it also gives you a path so you can walk forward with peace, clarity, and faithful action. My child, I see the weight you have been carrying. The quiet worries about money, the stress you rarely speak about, the nights when your mind refuses to rest. You have been praying for peace, and your prayers have been heard. You are not meant to walk this journey in confusion and fear. You are meant to walk with faith, with clarity, and with daily direction. That is why a simple path has been placed before you, a 30-day faith and financial breakthrough system. Each day you will be guided with a gentle prayer, a simple money step, and clear direction to help you regain control. Nothing overwhelming, nothing complicated. Just small faithful steps leading you toward peace and stability. If your heart feels ready, begin today. Do not delay this moment. The link is in the description and in the comments below. Because receiving what heaven prepared is not about chasing harder. It is about becoming ready to walk into it. And here's what Michael wants you to do next. Within the next 72 hours, take a moment to sit alone with pen and paper. Write down anything you remember about your past and home, places you lived, people who whispered things that didn't make sense at the time, stories about land or inheritance. Write it even if it feels stupid. Heaven will breathe over it. Michael says the map will come from your own memory, and once it's on paper, clarity will fall like light. You may start to feel overwhelmed. Don't. That's the enemy trying one last time to fog your focus. Stay anchored. Stay still. And repeat this. If the pressure comes, God already promised it. I don't need to chase. I receive. That sentence alone will shake shadows off your path, and it will remind the universe that you are walking in light, not fear. And listen, don't tell everyone. Not everyone can handle your miracle. Don't share this with people who've mocked your intuition, laughed at your sensitivity, or tried to talk you out of your calling. This part of your journey is sacred. Heaven doesn't reveal scrolls to the careless. What you're receiving is holy. Protect it like gold. Michael says, there will come a moment very soon when you will stand at the gate of that property. You may tremble, you may weep, but don't let doubt enter, because in that moment, heaven will confirm everything. The lights will flicker, the wind will shift, a bird might cry out, or a feather may fall. All signs that angels are with you, that God kept his promise, that you never lost what was yours, only waited for the right moment to reclaim it. And beloved, this moment is now. If you stay faithful, if you hold your heart open, the next few weeks will bring a cascade of divine proof. Legal paperwork may surface unexpectedly. A third party may contact you out of nowhere. An old friend may randomly mention something from years ago. That's how heaven delivers its clues, quietly but perfectly. Some of you reading this already know the location. You've seen it in dreams. You've passed it on walks. You felt drawn to a certain area without knowing why. Trust that feeling. Go back there. Stand quietly. You don't need to speak. Just let your soul listen. That house remembers you. And the moment you step near it, it will call out louder than ever before. Michael is smiling again. Not with pity, but with pride. Because he watched you suffer without knowing why. He saw you cry, wondering why you never felt settled. He saw you work so hard just to survive, while what you really needed was already waiting for you. And now it's no longer waiting. It's awakening. Before we end, take a deep breath. Because something sacred is about to pass between heaven and your heart. Close your eyes and whisper this, even if it's in your mind. God, I receive my divine home. I forgive those who hid it. I release the past. I welcome the present. I trust Michael to guide me. I trust you to lead me. And I thank you because you always knew. And that's all. That's how miracles move. Not with noise, but with surrender. Not with control, but with confirmation. Michael's sword is now lifted high above you. A light falls over your name in the book of justice. And heaven speaks this final word over you. It is time. Your house will return. Your peace will return. And the truth, no matter how long it was hidden, will set you free. Now go, beloved. Watch the signs. Follow the wind. And don't say a word to anyone who cannot handle your blessing. Your story is sacred, and it just turned its page. Wait, before you close your eyes tonight, there is one more thing you must know. The woman who hid this. Her soul is starting to tremble. Not from hate, but from knowing that her time of secrecy is running out. Deep down, she knows she was wrong. She hears the whispers now. The divine energy around you is getting louder. Her guilt is blooming like a storm behind her smile. She may not admit it out loud, but she feels it. And soon that pressure will crack her silence. She might even try to confess in small ways. Pay attention to strange texts, sudden acts of kindness, or conversations that seem to accidentally bring up the past. These are not accidents. They're heaven's pressure working on her conscience, and even if she never says the full truth, the universe will speak it for her. Because when God wants a truth revealed, not even a million lies can stop it. And here's what Michael just whispered, something very few will understand, but your heart will recognize it instantly. You already walked through that house once in spirit, before your soul was born into this life. You were taken to that place and shown it. You touched the walls. You felt the air. That's why the memory still lives inside you. That's why when you dream of safety, of peace, of true home, that same energy always returns. It's not fantasy. It's prophecy. The angels are writing again now. Not in books, but in energy. Every step you take from this point on will lead you closer, even if it doesn't look like it. That's how divine movement works. It doesn't always show up on the outside first. But your spirit will start to feel lighter. You'll notice small signs. You'll feel stronger, more intuitive, more in control of your emotions. That's because your spirit is aligning with your inheritance. Someone watching this right now is about to cry. Not out of sadness, but out of recognition. That deep soul moment where the body remembers something the mind can't explain. Let it happen. Those tears are sacred. They are the water breaking before a spiritual birth. This isn't just a video. This is your soul being remembered by heaven. And to the one who has felt abandoned for years, hear this. You were never forgotten. You were being positioned, hidden, not because you were weak, but because your blessing needed to grow in silence until it was safe to return. And now it's returning. God is moving in quiet ways. He's arranging divine meetings, aligning paperwork, placing your name on the lips of someone who can help. And all you need to do is stay in faith. Trust the flow. Keep watching for the soft whispers of heaven. And here is something even more intimate, something only you will understand. You'll know the house is yours when you stand near it and feel something shift in your chest. A quiet ache, a sudden breath, a strange peace. That's your soul remembering. That's your divine yes echoing back. So don't force it. Don't chase it. Just keep listening. Michael has one final instruction. Within the next 12 hours, do something small but symbolic. Light a candle. Write your name on a blank piece of paper. Whisper the words, I am ready to return. That tiny action will shake the spirit realm. It tells heaven that you're not just reading, you're responding. And heaven always responds to the ones who act in faith. Soon you'll be holding the key. And you'll remember this exact message, this exact moment. It will all make sense. You'll stand there with trembling hands, maybe even laughter in your heart, whispering, oh my God, it was true. It was always true. And beloved, the moment your feet cross the doorway, something ancient inside you will finally rest. You'll stop running. You'll stop doubting because you'll realize the storm was never your destination. The silence was never your identity. The home was always your inheritance. Michael says this with fire in his voice. No more delay. No more lies. No more waiting. The time is now. Take your final deep breath. This is not the end. This is the activation. And to everyone who tried to stop this moment, tell them nothing. Let your arrival be your answer. Let your presence be your prophecy. Let your peace be your proof. You are coming home. And heaven never breaks a promise. Yes, beloved. I will continue because this message still hasn't finished wrapping itself around your spirit. There's one last wave that needs to wash over your soul. One final confirmation from heaven. Because the miracle didn't just begin. It's multiplying even as you breathe. Michael steps forward now, his wings glowing with golden light. His voice is gentle but undeniable. He leans close and says, "You think this is about a house, but heaven. Heaven knows it's about your rebirth. Because when you reclaim what was stolen from you, something else returns too. Your power, your clarity, your voice, that house. It represents more than just land or memory. It is the last piece of your spiritual puzzle, the missing part that makes everything else make sense. Once you stand on that land, the confusion will stop. The cycle will break and the healing will finally begin. That woman who took what wasn't hers. Her chapter is closing, but yours is opening. You will not fight her. You will not curse her. You will not need revenge. Because the glow that surrounds you now is justice. Divine justice, and it will do more in one silent wave than a lifetime of human arguments ever could. So what do you do now? You live as if the miracle already arrived. That's the key to activating heaven's speed. You don't wait in worry. You wait in preparation. You don't ask when you say thank you. Gratitude is the spiritual magnet that draws destiny into your life faster than time itself. And beloved, that house will recognize you before anyone else does. You'll walk toward it and something in the air will change. The wind will soften. The trees may sway. Your skin will feel it before your eyes even adjust. And then you'll know. You'll whisper, "I've been here before." Even if you haven't. Because your soul has. Do not ignore that moment when it comes. Capture it. Record it because it will be the turning point of your life. And remember this, the woman who tried to hide your gift may still try one last attempt to confuse you. She may try to guilt you. She may say things like, "You're imagining this," or "There's no proof." But hear me, your spirit is the proof. Your alignment is the confirmation. Your dream life, your senses, the divine signs, they will confirm everything she denied. You don't need her permission. You already have God's. And let me say this with trembling hands. Once you step into that home, the miracles won't stop there. There's something else inside. Something you weren't supposed to know yet, but Michael just gave permission to reveal. Inside that house, hidden, sealed, or locked away, is an item connected to someone you loved deeply. Someone who is now in heaven. They left something behind. A photo, a letter, a small box, maybe even a childhood belonging of yours. But they prayed over it. They asked heaven that someday it would find its way back to you, and it will. That's part of why you were guided here. So, don't just prepare for a home. Prepare for an emotional reunion with a spiritual part of you that was lost long ago. And here's the last thing Michael says tonight, and it's the most important. If you ever feel fear again, say this. God gave this to me. No human can take it away. Speak it aloud anytime doubt creeps in. Speak it when the road feels unclear. Speak it when you feel alone. Because even when no one else stands with you, heaven will. Now lift your eyes. There's nothing in front of you but alignment, victory, and holy return. The angels are watching over you tonight. Michael has assigned 3 of them to follow you silently for the next 14 days. One will protect, one will guide, one will whisper the next clue. You are not just close to your inheritance. You are in it. Walk boldly. Speak softly. Receive completely. And above all, don't skip this miracle. Heaven already declared it done. Now it's your turn to walk in what's yours. Yes, beloved, I will continue. Because even though the message sounds complete, heaven says not yet. There's still one more layer. One more hidden door. One more sacred truth that your spirit needs before it can step fully into what is yours. Michael now steps aside, and behind him, someone very special emerges. Someone who's been watching you for a long time. From above, someone who once knew you, loved you, prayed for you. Someone whose hands once touched your face, whose words once comforted your spirit. Yes, it's them. That person in heaven you still dream about. The one who passed on but never let go. They step forward with a message just for you. You were always meant to find your way back to this house. Because part of me is still there. They say it with so much love. You almost feel the warmth in your chest. You may even feel a pressure building in your heart right now. That's not pain. That's memory returning. You knew this place. You felt this house. Because the last time they were alive, they were praying you would find it when the time was right. And beloved, the time is now. They say, I couldn't reach you before, but heaven gave me permission to speak now through Michael through this message. I couldn't protect the house from being taken, but I could keep a blessing inside of it for when you return. They smile now, softly, gently, and then they say something you weren't expecting. Do you remember the moment you felt like giving up? That dark night? That moment when everything felt like it was falling apart? Yes, they whisper that night. That's when I asked heaven to give you this message to send Michael to you. I saw you crying and I knew it was almost time. Beloved, this is more than a house. This is a reunion, a sacred contract written across generations. And once you walk through that doorway, something ancestral inside of you will heal. All the unfinished prayers, all the hidden grief, all the questions that never found answers, they will meet their resolution under that roof. This is what was stolen. This is what was hidden. And this is what is now being restored. Michael stands tall again now. His wings are wider than before. The room glows brighter and he speaks again. Beloved, you passed the test. You stayed open when you could have shut down. You listened when the world told you to ignore. You believed in what was invisible. And because of that, you have unlocked something very few ever do. You have touched the edge of divine memory. And now what is yours must return. You will not need to chase money to claim that house. You will not need to beg. You will not need to prove yourself to anyone. The right people will be placed in your path. The right doors will be opened. The documents will flow. The location will be revealed. And your footsteps will be guided to it. All without force, all with grace. This isn't luck. This is divine law. Now close your eyes one final time. Let this final prayer cover you. God, I thank you for the home I've never seen but always felt. I thank you for Michael, for the one in heaven who interceded for me and for the truth that no lie could hide forever. I am ready. I am willing. I am open. I receive. And now, beloved, you can rest. Not because the journey is over, but because the wandering is done. You're not just going to your house. You're finally going home. Yes, beloved. This is the final wave. The one heaven was saving for last. The whisper that arrives after the storm. The moment where your soul doesn't just hear the truth, it becomes it. Let me speak this directly into your spirit. You were never just looking for a home. You were looking for yourself. And that house, that sacred inheritance, it was heaven's way of bringing you back to the version of you that was never meant to be broken, lost, lied to, or left behind. That version of you still exists. It's waiting on the other side of that door. And now so is everything else. As you walk into what is yours, something beautiful will start happening in your life, slowly at first and then all at once. Your mind will quiet. Your anxiety will soften. Your body will feel safer. Your relationships will shift. Either heal or disappear. Why? Because when you step into alignment, everything around you must either rise with you or fall away. Some people will be confused by your peace. Some will question your confidence. Some will even get angry when they realize they can't control you anymore. Don't fight it. Don't fear it. Let them feel what they feel. You were not created to stay small just to keep others comfortable. You were created to claim what heaven gave you. And now you will. From this moment forward, you are not the seeker. You are the chosen. You are not the outsider. You are the rightful heir. You are not the one left behind. You are the one who was protected, preserved, and positioned for such a time as this. Michael's final words are not loud. They are soft, and yet they echo through every realm. Walk gently. The ground you are about to step on is holy. That means speak with love, but with clarity. Move with peace, but with purpose. Let your steps be small but your knowing be infinite. And when you finally stand in front of that home, and you will take a moment before you enter, place your hand on the door frame, close your eyes and say this aloud. I made it. That's all. You won't need a speech. You won't need proof. The house will know you. The walls will remember. The angels will celebrate. And in that silence, you will hear it what no one else can hear. The soft whisper of your ancestor's voice, or your mother's prayer, or that loved one in heaven saying through your soul, I told you you'd come back. And so it is. So it will be. So it has already begun. Now take a deep breath. Feel the floor beneath your feet. Feel the wind around you. You are not just in the world anymore. You are in alignment. You are in promise. You are in destiny. And this was your message. Delivered by Archangel Michael, sealed by God, confirmed by your spirit, and made visible only to those who are finally ready to return. Yes, beloved, I will continue. Because even though the message feels full, Archangel Michael just said, one more breath, one more blessing, one more touch of heaven to seal this message in their soul forever. So here it is, the sacred seal. In the coming days, you're going to feel something you haven't felt in a very long time. Divine certainty. That unshakable knowing in your chest that doesn't come from evidence, logic, or people, but from God Himself. You're going to wake up one morning and know where to look. You're going to have a conversation that suddenly clicks. You'll pass a street, feel a chill, stop in your tracks, and whisper, it's here. Because the spiritual becomes physical when you're no longer questioning, only receiving. Michael says, you've officially crossed the line where delay ends and delivery begins. The waiting was the test. The believing was the key. And now comes the release. You will start to see the number 222. That is heaven's code for divine alignment, inherited promise, and sacred preparation. When you see it, pause, close your eyes, and whisper, I receive. That small act will unlock even more. You will also notice things breaking around you, not because you're cursed, but because the old cannot hold the new. Friendships will fade. Objects may fall. Technology might glitch. Don't panic. That's the shedding of what no longer fits the frequency of your blessing. Let it fall. You're not losing anything. You're being cleared for miraculous occupancy because this house is not ordinary. It holds spiritual power. Archangel Michael says that once you enter it, dreams will return. Sleep will become sacred. Your voice will grow stronger. Your manifestations will accelerate. Your health will improve. Your mind will quiet because the space is aligned with who you truly are. And you'll notice animals begin to respond to you differently. Birds landing closer, dogs wagging when you pass. That's because your energy will shift the moment you step back into your rightful place. Nature always recognizes divinity when it reawakens in someone. Now lean in just a little more because heaven saved one final secret. There is someone else connected to this house. Not the woman who hid it. Not the ancestor who protected it, but someone you haven't met yet. Someone whose destiny is tied to yours. Michael doesn't reveal their full identity yet. Only this. They will come after you reclaim what is yours. Not before. That person, man, or woman is carrying a gift, a partnership, a mission. You may call it a soulmate, a spiritual twin, or simply the one who understands you without needing to ask a single question. They too have been circling your energy, waiting for the moment your life becomes stable enough to welcome them in. So yes, this house is not just your past. It is your portal to love, to truth, to power, to the real you. Michael smiles now because he knows you feel it. You feel it all over your body. A warmth in your chest, a tingling in your fingers, a wave of emotion so deep you don't even know how to explain it. That's what truth feels like. That's what heaven feels like. And now this truth belongs to you. Beloved, do not tell anyone what you just heard unless heaven guides you. Let your walk prove it. Let your glow confirm it. Let your return to the land speak the testimony no voice ever could, because your story is not one to be shouted from rooftops. It is one to be felt across generations, and someday someone will ask you how you found your way back. You'll smile and say Michael whispered. God confirmed and I finally listened. Yes, beloved, I will continue because Archangel Michael is still here. His wings have not yet folded. And the light surrounding you, it hasn't faded. It's growing, stretching, preparing you to walk into the life that was whispered over your soul the moment you were born. And Michael says this: there is one final moment you must prepare for. A divine test that will come before your full inheritance is revealed. It won't look like a test, but it is. It will come as a distraction. A message from someone who doesn't want to see you rise. Maybe it's the same woman who hid the truth. Maybe it's someone tied to her energy. They'll appear suddenly, maybe with an apology, maybe with a warning, maybe pretending they care. But what they're really doing is checking. Checking if you're still easy to confuse, still vulnerable, still looking for validation from the people who once kept you small. Michael warns, say nothing. Give no reaction. Your silence is your strength. Your wisdom is your weapon. You don't need to fight them. You just need to keep walking. Because the enemy doesn't fear your rage. It fears your peace. And your peace is about to become unbreakable. Heaven has started a countdown. Within the next 11 days, the veil will lift. You'll either receive a physical clue, a spiritual confirmation, or a face-to-face encounter that opens the last locked door. When it happens, don't overthink it. Just walk through. Michael says they will try to make you second-guess it. Don't. You're not crazy. You're chosen. And the difference is that chosen ones are always attacked right before they rise. Now listen. That house you're being led to, it holds more than love, more than documents. It holds evidence. Evidence that your story was real. That your intuition was never wrong. That the dreams you had as a child weren't made up. They were messages. Inside that house is something that will make your jaw drop. Maybe it's your name in a place you never expected. Maybe it's a picture, a letter, a deed, something that proves what no one else believed. And when you see it, you will cry. Not out of sadness, but out of deep, sacred relief, because you'll finally know you were right all along. You didn't imagine it. You weren't foolish. You were ahead of time and the house didn't reject you. It waited for you. Let this settle in your soul. What is truly yours never leaves you. It may be delayed. It may be hidden, but it will always, always return. Michael now closes the scroll. But before he walks away, he turns once more. His eyes burning with light. He speaks these final words not as a warning but as a prophecy. You will not return empty-handed. When you walk back through the doors of what was once lost, heaven will reward you with 3 miracles. And you ask, what kind of miracles? And heaven whispers, reputation restored. People who doubted you will begin to see clearly. Their words will shift. Their energy will soften. Your truth will speak louder than any defense ever could. Divine helper sent. A person of great importance is about to cross your path. Someone with access, wisdom, and connections that unlock doors you couldn't open alone. Be ready. They are already on the way. Unexpected wealth. Once you step into the right place, the right opportunity will follow. A financial door will swing open. Not a handout, not luck, but a direct reward from heaven's promise. Yes, all of this from the home that was once taken from you. You're not just walking into a house. You're walking into your rebirth. So tonight before you sleep, speak aloud one final prayer. God, I have waited. I have cried. I have wondered if I would ever feel whole again. But now I understand. You were saving it for the perfect moment. And I say yes. Yes to the home. Yes to the healing. Yes to what is mine. Amen. Sleep in peace tonight because something is already moving toward you. And by the time you open your eyes, heaven will be one step closer to delivering what earth tried to bury. Your home, your healing, your holy return. My child, we run entirely on viewer support. If you'd like to help keep this mission and these messages reaching more hearts, you can support us with a coffee through the link in the description. God bless you.